Hey guys, Tyler Dowse here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're looking at a 2025 Acura RDX Platinum A-SPEC. So the RDX, one of the favorite Acura models, been around for a long time now. Got a refresh a handful of years back. It's been a little while now. 2025, we're packing some new styling, some new features inside. We're gonna go over it all today. We're gonna talk interior, exterior, go for a test drive, see how it performs on the road. Let's get to it. Alright guys, as always, starting the video off with what you want to see, powertrain. Let's pop the hood here. Strut assist going on up. Have a look inside there. So what is the 2025 RDX packing? Still our 2-liter turbo inline 4, 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 time, 6.4 seconds. Fuel economy, we're looking at 22 mpgs in the city, 26 on the highway. Now the thing is, I've always loved this turbo engine. When Acura switched from the V6 to this guy, I was a little bit disappointed until I actually drove it. Now the thing is, the 272 horsepower, it doesn't sound crazy. Usually I like those numbers being up 300 and above is kind of like a nice sweet spot. But this 272 horsepower inline turbo here, it packs a punch, and you'll see that when we get to the test drive scene. But what I would like Acura to do, and I'm sure one day, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll bring it to us, is an RDX Type S. Get like a V6 turbo in under here. This thing would be a rocket, nice and lightweight, small. I think it would do really well. North America loves their crossover performance SUVs now, so I think if Acura brought that to the table, I think it'd be a big hit. But anyways, let's talk exterior styling now. Okay, front end exterior styling. Start up here. So you got that nice subtle line right down the middle of the hood. A lot of the Acura products do that. It gives it a sense of symmetry throughout the whole lineup. Then you got some more subtle lines on the side. Not too crazy, not way over the top in your face. I like the way that it looks. And coming on down here, we got our diamond pentagon grille, which is gonna be new for 2025 here. They matched the MDX and the TLX. I'm glad that they did, because it is a great looking grille. Not that the last one wasn't. I just like this one a little bit better. Loving the color as well too. Urban gray pearl. I love it. And then down here at the very bottom, we have a lot of functionality here. A lot of air flowing in through the very bottom there, and I'm glad that this is all gloss black as well too. With that urban gray pearl, it looks really, really sharp. All the A-SPEC black accenting. Big Acura logo there is going to house some of the equipment there for your semi-autonomous drive modes. And then you have your forward-facing camera, forward-facing park sensors, and then let's come on around the side here. At the very bottom, we actually have jewel eye fog lights down below. I'm glad they did the jewel eye, because then it's going to match your headlights and high beams, which again are all your LEDs there. And then we have LED turn signals, and then the Acura famous chicane style daytime running LED light. I wish they would go sequential turn signals. I just love the way they look. I wish pretty much all new vehicles did that actually. And then one more touch here as well too, functional air curtains on the side. Pushes air on through over top the tire there. The Acura MDX, I actually just did a review of that one, so have a look at my channel if you're curious about hearing about that a little bit. They put a 2025 nice big vent here on the side. It's fake. What the heck? Anyways, coming on over the side here, new for 2025, these new type of wheels here. These are aluminum alloy, 20-inch as well too. And I'm glad no cheap plastic around the wheel well. You just got a nice little crease here. Looks really sharp. Love the body color, or even gloss black would work. I think the gloss black would work. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. And you have your A-SPEC badge here. I mentioned this in my MDX photo. It would be kind of neat if they changed this from a chrome plate to a blacked out plate for the A-SPEC. I think it would look neat, and then kept the A red. I think that would look really sharp. But anyways, you got LED turn signal indicators here on your mirror caps. Mirrors are gloss black actually as well too. Then you have gloss black on the bottom here. And another thing actually with the MDX, they did black plastic on the bottom, but here in the RDX they have gloss black, which I like way more. It's more of a nice premium touch for a premium car company. They went black with the door handles here. Now let me know if you think this is too much gloss black. It might be clashing a little bit. I think it looks cool with this urban gray pearl color. Let me know what all you guys think here. We don't have any exposed roof rails here up on the top, but we do have a full panoramic sunroof, which we'll show you when we get inside of the vehicle. But come on back, I like this gloss black line here though, and then it's just kind of subtle lines. They are nice sharp lines, though the thing is it makes it feel nice, sporty, and aggressive. But again, kind of like the hood there, not crazy over the top though. But come on around the back side here, let's talk about the back end styling. Ooh. Forgot about the license plate there. Anyways, tail lights looking the same for 2025 here. But what the heck is that? You know, if you're gonna do a little, you know, some updates here on your vehicle and bring some new stuff into it, throw in some LED turn signals, not these old school Thomas Edison turn signals, but the rest of it, LED reverse lighting, LED running lights and all that stuff. The rest is good. They just gotta fix the turn signal. That's my one thing I'm gonna say about the back end here that I don't like. Nice wide open glass here. That they kind of have a little bit of a spoiler coming out here. Whenever they do, SUVs have this. I like if they take the windshield wiper blade and tuck it on up there and just hide it. It would open up that whole back end a whole lot more. And with the A-SPEC trims, I know it is an option. Dealers will do it for you, but I wish they blacked out all of the logos here. But RDX SH all-wheel drive, that's their super handling all-wheel drive. It's an excellent all-wheel drive system, one of the best in the business. You got your A-SPEC badge, nice and clean look here on the back end. And as we drop on down, we got our backup park sensors, and then here, stainless steel exhaust tips. We'll switch to a quick little Ty's Torque Talk sound check. Okay, moving on past that, I mentioned the backup park sensors. We also got a backup camera there, little smaller logo. I'm glad they didn't go the same size as on the front grille. I think that would look silly. But overall, the back, it's simple, clean cut, looks good. Let's pop open this trunk though, see talk cargo capacity in the back of this RDX. We're here today filming at Southview Acura here in Edmonton, Alberta. They're a fantastic dealership, amazing group of people. If you guys are in the area and you need a new ride, give them a call. Number's down below. Okay, right before we pop open that back hatch, have a quick peek at the key fob here. So your standard Acura key fob. I like that nice kind of glass back to it, nice and smooth touch. But anyways, you got your remote starting, lock, unlock, hold open the back hatch, and then you also got your panic button at the very bottom. So you can open the back hatch by the remote key fob, click the button there, or you can swipe the leg underneath. And the Acura system for that leg swipe is it's always watching. It works really well. A lot of vehicles, you have to do it like 2, 3, 4 times and whatnot. Acura, every single time I've done it, it's worked. But let's have a look at the storage capacity on inside of this back of this RDX. It's really good. So with these back seats folded upright like this, you're looking at 29 cubic feet. And so we have these latches here on either end. You pull them, give the seat a push, and it'll fold on down. So when you fold the seats down like that, the headrest, the passenger seat's up too much. Anyways, you guys get the idea. 79 cubic feet. And that's with both those seats completely down flat. And you have a nice flat load floor as well too. And then also right back here, these metal plates here, so you can slide items over it. Usually there's a lip where it drops down and then you get the trunk lid floor. This, I like that it's just flat all the way to the tops of those seats there. Underneath here, you also get a nice big compartment in here. I wish they would put a drain plug though, because I would like to use this for tailgating, you know, fill it up with ice, use it as a cooler. I think would be a really, really nice touch. Big bin here over on the side though. You can fit a whole bunch of stuff in here. You got these little tie down fastening points all over the place. Really nice trunk here. You can fit a lot. For the size of this vehicle, the overall size, it beats that Lexus NX by quite a bit actually. But this is kind of a halfway size vehicle between the NX and RX, so it's not quite fair, but they are competitors with each other. I like the size of this vehicle. That's enough about the trunk though. Let's go hop in the front seat now, see how comfortable it is for those front seat passengers. All right guys, here we are inside the RDX. Have a quick look at the doors there. So we got soft touch plastic right at the very top, and then left of the door handle there, you're actually gonna get an aluminum panel. And then below that, you actually get the ELS Studio 3D speakers. I love the look of the speaker there, the metal finishing on it. I wish they would follow suit though with the ZDX and the MDX and get that premium Bang & Olufsen sound system one day, one of these days. Maybe when we get the Type S maybe in the RDX, we'll see. But then anyways, right of this door handle there, you're gonna get real black Alcantara there. And then the armrest area, that's all Everything red there, premium red Milano leather there. And then you get a decent sized door bin in this guy. It's just, there's not a huge opening to it, but once you get something inside there, there's quite a bit of room. There's coming on inside the vehicle now, you get a aluminum sill plate, A-SPEC branded sill plate. It's funny, they have this in the RDX, but if you actually go up to their flagship SUV, the MDX, there's no sill plates. Kind of odd. Fun fact for you. You get power adjustments here for your passenger seat. And have a look at these seats here as well too. This red Milano leather. You get the black piping. Normally you see white piping around the seats. The black piping, black stitch work, looks really good. Perforated leather, heated, cooled, fantastic job. Then here we got our center console. Actually, good size for mid-size SUV, kind of crossover SUV here. 13 baseballs in this here. We got a nice big phone charging pad here, which you have the option to turn on and off. You have 2 cup holders with gloss black around the perimeter of them. Normally you see chrome in there, even on other A-SPEC branded vehicles, say like the MDX or like the Type S ZDX. They're always chrome around that. I'm liking the gloss black. I think that looks really good. This I'm not a big fan of. There's too much gloss black and there's buttons on the gloss black. So it's gonna get covered in fingerprints, dust, scratched up a little bit. But it looks cool. It's like I feel like I'm like Captain James T. Kirk in the USS Enterprise in here with all of these buttons and craziness going on. But anyways, trackpad here for your infotainment screen. This is gonna be a 10.25 inch screen here. Let me go back to the home page. 10.25 inches. I could do with a few more, maybe like 14 or so, I think would look really good in here. And I wish they'd do the same thing as the MDX, where they took the MDX that was sitting back farther like this and slide it towards the front and then make it a touch screen. I don't hate track pads, I just prefer touch screens because while you're driving, it's just, they're easier to use in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the trackpad or do you like the touch screen better? But anyways, all your switch gear here for changing gears here in the RDX, the typical Acura way of doing so. And of course we got our real metal dynamic mode drive mode selector here. So we got snow, comfort, sport, and normal. There's no individual mode. In like say the MDX, you can click this as a button and you can actually custom tune it to how you want in an individual mode. The RDX doesn't have that. You got your pesky engine on off button. I click that. That's the first thing I do when I hop in the vehicles. You got your heated, cooled seats right here. But you also have an automatic function, so it'll sense what the temperature's like outside and it'll put on cooled or heated seats. Kind of neat that it does that. I don't really know any others. And everyone does automatic climate control, but not the heated, cooled seats. I thought that was pretty neat. Then manual buttons for your climate control there. I'm loving that. We got a manual volume knob there for your ELS Studio 3D sound system, and then your 10.25 inch infotainment screen up top. I'm going to go to the navigation quick just because I want them to update this. I want them to get the Google Assistant, Google Maps in here like say the the ADX has, the MDX, the ZDX, the TLX. The RDX needs that little bit of love for it, but it is a great screen. It's very intuitive. It's the trackpad is actually very easy to use. I don't hate it. I prefer the touchscreen. You also get ambient lighting throughout here, and you get a pretty decent amount of different color options that you can do as well. But and then talking about the dash up here, so you get nice leather up top there. And then here you're going to get that Alcantara that you found on the doors beforehand with a little bit of that red stitch work in there as well too. And this guy, we don't have a digital rear view mirror. It's just your old school real mirror. And then down at the very bottom, I almost skipped this here, you actually get a button for your glove compartment here. And it is a 2-tiered system, which I don't mind as long as you're not trying to keep any larger items, because there's not going to be a lot of clearance room in for that. And then also, talk about storage, you got a boatload down here. You also even get a 12-volt power outlet and then a USB-A as well too over there. It's all rubber lined on the bottom, so if you put some items in there, it's not going to slip and slide around and make a lot of noise. And up top, full-length panoramic sunroof. It's got a power shade that comes on over. This is obviously opens on up. You can tilt it as well too, but that's about enough for the passenger inside. Come sit in the driver's seat. Look what I'm looking at here, a steering wheel and gauge cluster here in the RDX. All right, driver's side time in the RDX. Quick touch on the doors here. So you got memory seating for 2 people. You got your little aluminum plate, your ELS Studio 3D sound system speaker there. And I like that they put a little bit of metal there on your window buttons. It's just nice little premium touch. And then your mirror controls, trunk lid button, and then you're gonna get your cubby space on down below, but this is all the cheaper plastic. I forgot to point that out. The rest of it, great soft touch materials. Got your A-SPEC sill plate there, power adjustment seat for the driver, and down there, aluminum pedal box and aluminum dead pedal. I'm loving that they did aluminum dead pedal. No one usually does that. Typically it's just cheaped out, it's forgotten about, and they go plastic. But anyways, let me take the camera now, have a look at the steering wheel and gauge setup and everything in this RDX, sorry. So one thing I want to touch on first, on the windshield wiper stock right here, you click the camera button, you can actually access all of your cameras for that whole 360 camera system. The one thing I gotta say about it though, 10.25 inches, it's not the biggest out in the business, and the fact that they don't utilize this little space here, they got an old school camera looking at you there, and they only use like 7 inches of the screen actually. And you know, I think they could also do a little bit with a little bit higher definition. The thing is, at the end of the day, you can still see everything through it. You know, you got a good visual view there with that 360 degree camera. I like all the different view options that they have. I just wish that they utilize the entire screen of that whole 10.25 inches. Nevertheless, makes up for it right here. One thing I love about Acuras, it's their steering wheels. I think they do one of the best steering wheels out there. That feels great. It's the perfect thickness, perforated leather, it's heated, you got nice cross stitch work throughout it, big Acura logo right there in the middle, flat bottom, A-SPEC badge, bit of piano black, but at least there's no buttons on it, so you're not going to fingerprint it up. But yeah, you got your heated steering wheel right there. You got mainly left-hand side is all kind of your media controls and everything. And this little dial here is going to control some of the stuff on your heads-up display right up there. If you can see, yeah, you can see it in the video. We're all good. And you know, you got a decent amount of information actually on there that you can filter on through. And then over down here you have your controls for changing the brightness of it and the height as well of that heads-up display. Right hand side of the steering wheel, I'm loving the dials here. They're one of my favorite. That's one of the things I love most about these Acura steering wheels. But as you have a boatload of different ton of information inside of on this driver infotainment screen here. Holy cow, sorry, that was hard for me to say there. But yeah, you got your digital speedometer, you got your trip info, navigation. When you actually have a destination in that, it'll show you upcoming turns. You got maintenance, tire pressure, SH, all-wheel drive handling. It'll show you how much power is going to each individual tire. You want going seat belts. I like this. Parents, you're all gonna love it. If someone's sitting on one of the seats doesn't have their seat belt buckled up, you're gonna get the red X. When you put your seat belt on, you get a green check mark, so you can keep an eye on the kids in the back there. Minimalist screen, just a blacked out one. Here's all of your safety driving gizmos and gadgets, your adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, all that good stuff. And what else we have down here? Sport gauge setting, so you can go push a change, so you can go always on, you can turn them off, so on and so forth. Speed, distance, metric, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I like that they kept the analog dials here, actually, for your tack and your speed there. I like analogs, honestly. Like, I don't need a full digital display. I'm fine with just the infotainment screen. I like the way that this looks. It really does. It'd be kind of neat if you could pull up the whole map view in there and just have it riding in that without just, you know, having to actually have a destination, because it's only going to tell you your future upcoming turns. But I love the way that this looks. You got it's all nice and red there, sporty feel. It's great. We have paddle shifters on the back. They are just plastic though. Now it's funny, if you go down a trim in vehicles from the RDX down to the ADX, you get aluminum paddle shifters. I hope one day they bring the aluminum paddle shifters to the RDX and the MDX. But that about wraps up the... Actually, you know what? Here, I'm going to show you the other buttons down here. So this is just a button for a lot of that safety technology. When you click on that, it shows you your little safety support page. You have automatic windshield wiper blades, traction control, brake hold, and then your power parking brake there. But that's about it here for the driver's seat of this RDX. Let's go hop in the back seat, see how comfortable those rear seating passengers are in here. Okay guys, back seat here in the RDX. Quick look at the door. Soft touch plastic up top. Alcantara, real leather. Still got that fancy ELS Studio 3D speaker in the back here. A little bit of a smaller door bin, but yeah, I like that you got a vertical facing cup holder right in here. A lot of times in the smaller cup holders, they'll put them like diagonally. I hate that. And as you come into the back though, you get the same, almost the same premium luxury feels the front. You lose the sill plate. I wish they would keep that aluminum sill plate. I like it's a nice touch. But as far as comfort wise, in the back here, tons of knee room. I have this front seat set up where I'd be sitting. I'm 6 feet tall. Lots of knee room, lots of foot room, tons of headroom actually as well too. Acura does a really good job. They're one of the best out of all of its competitors for rear seats space actually. So anyways, as I'm going to slide on over here, very small hump as well too in the middle here. It goes up like ½ an inch probably. So even if you are sitting in the middle, I got enough headroom. My feet aren't sitting that high up and I'm not fighting with the people on either side of me for more space. But seats, same as the front. You got that red, nice Milano leather, that famous Acura kind of styling here. And then you're also gonna have little tether points. It's just letting you know these buttons here. It'll mark where those, the tethering points are for car seats are. Anyways, back to these seats here. Some people don't like this. I love it. Plastic. It's the cheap plastic, and I'll tell you why. You put a car seat here, your kid is gonna be kicking all over the seat here, scratching it up, putting dirt all over the back of it. I'd rather that be on cheap plastic than premium Milano red leather seats. You got your airplane style back of the seat pockets. And you got this tri-zone climate control. Now the thing is, you can't control fan speed, but you got this old school dial here where you can control the temperature in the back. And you are gonna have heated seats for your rear seating passengers, 3 stages for both, a little bit of charging right in the middle here. And then you're also gonna have a nice cozy, comfy, soft, all leather center armrest here, a couple cup holders, almost like a suede type of material in the middle here. And then you're gonna get all around on the ceiling here, you're gonna get more of those speakers for that premium ELS Studio 3D sound system. But that's about it for the back seat here in the RDX. Let's go hop in the driver's seat now, take this thing on the road, see how it does. All right guys, driving the RDX A-SPEC. I know you've been waiting, so let's get it over with. Quick little 0 to 60 time. We got a bit of a bend coming up, but we'll brake boost it a bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's about 100 there, just shy of. But you know what? Like, you hear the name, like someone tells you, okay, what's under the hood here? 2-liter, 4-cylinder, turbo. You don't think much, but like you get behind the wheel of this, it's a nice light crossover SUV. That 272 horsepower from that little 2-liter turbo, it packs a punch. It's a good amount of power for this vehicle. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with it. There we go again. It's a fun vehicle to drive. It's really peppy and it handles very well as well too, I have to say. That wasn't even in sport mode. We actually had that sitting in normal there. But let me get the front of these lights here. Hopefully this light isn't too long. Oh, it's just starting. We'll come back in 1 minute. Okay, I'm not gonna brake boost this time, just pedal to the metal. Okay, you know what? I'm impressed. Acura, though that turbo, actually it spools up quite quick. Like there wasn't a whole lot of leg there for that first brief second, but that's about it. So I'm really impressed with that. I'm gonna put this back just for now into the normal. Actually, let's go comfort mode. So you really feel that steering wheel loosens up quite a bit. I drove it around for a little while before. The comfort mode is really nice. You actually do notice quite a bit of a difference, even just from like suspension, the throttle response, all that. Everything just kind of loosens up and just floats along the road and feels really nice. But the tech in here is great. Like I said, I wish that touchscreen was I wish it was a touchscreen. The infotainment screen, wish they brought it a little closer and made it a touchscreen there. That's really one of my biggest complaints about this. I was gonna say I like kind of having like a cubby storage compartment right about here, but we have all that underbelly storage right down there. And then, you know, I can, while I'm driving, oh no, I thought you could. Oh, at low speeds, you can turn on that camera button there on the infotainment screen. I'll do that at a lower speed here. Okay, we'll get one more hard acceleration in comfort mode, see how that goes. Oops, hitting the windshield wipers. Okay, 3, 2, 1, flooring it. Even in comfort mode, this thing does quite well. I am impressed all around with the Acura products. But the RDX, I've always had a soft spot for. Sorry. Always. I thought this has been a great crossover SUV since they brought it out a long time ago. But that about wraps things up today, guys. I'm going to bring this RDX back to the dealership. We'll see you back outside. All right, guys, that wraps it up today for the 2025 Acura RDX. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this new RDX here. How does it stack up against some of the competitors? The Lexus NX, the Audi Q5. Do you like this more or less? Somewhere in the middle? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But if you're not a subscriber already, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share button to all your friends down below there. And also, if you are a subscriber, I appreciate you guys sticking around always and supporting the channel. That's it for today. We'll see you on the next one.